Good morning, everyone. This is truly an extraordinarily unique and humbling opportunity. I think you all know in my role as your Secretary of State, I proposed a new way of registering to vote. We call it New Motor Voter. It was my top priority, and I am absolutely thrilled to be signing this bill into law as the new governor. Over 30 years ago, Del Riley, the clerk of Lynn County, had a vision to make voting as convenient and accessible as possible by putting a ballot in the hands of every eligible Oregonian through vote by mail. This bill is about making government work better, treating citizens as customers, and giving them access to the service they expect. When someone moves to Oregon, why should they have to fill out multiple forms for multiple agencies? They should be able to complete one form, one time. This bill will fully implement that goal by ensuring that virtually every eligible Oregonian will be able to have their voice be heard. Building on the federal motor voter bill, this bill will modernize how the DMV and the Secretary of State's office work together to register citizens to vote. During the testimony on the bill, a legislator said to me, "It's already so easy to register in Oregon. Why would we make it easier?" My answer is that we have the tools to make voter registration more cost-effective, more secure, and more convenient for Oregonians. So why wouldn't we? Yeah. This new motor voter law will allow organizations to spend their resources educating and engaging voters rather than spending enormous amounts of time and energy to do voter registration, ensuring that our government is one that works for every single one of us. Oregon is a true leader in accessibility to voting, and I challenge every other state in this nation to examine their policies and find ways to ensure that there are as few barriers as possible in the way of a citizen's right to vote. As I have said many times, your vote is your voice, and every single voice matters. Under this proposal, more voices will be heard. I want to thank, there were many individuals and many groups have worked really hard to pass this legislation. Some of those organizations, their mission statement is to protect the right to vote, to educate voters, and to engage voters. Some of them include, I know Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward is here. Thank you. Senate Majority Leader Diane Rosenbaum. House Majority Leader Val Hoy. Representative Lou Frederick, thank you. I saw Senator Sarah Gelser here. Representative Chip Shields, thank you. Senator, any other legislators I'm missing?
Barton and Fagan.
Representative Barton, thank you. Who else is back there? Shamia Fagan, I understand, is back there as well. Welcome, Representative Fagan. Thank you. I am, of course, very honored to introduce as well my new Secretary of State, Oregon's new Secretary of State, Jean Atkins. Thank you. In terms of the organizations, we have the League of Women Voters of Oregon. Thank you, Kathy Eaton. Cappy's been working in this building longer than I've been alive. It's true. The Oregon Student Association. Who's here? Hi, Mario, thank you. CAUSA, folks are here from CAUSA. Yay, way in the back. Thank you. Gracias. The Bus Project. Urban League. Yay, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. The Asian Pacific American Network of Oregon, otherwise known as APANO, and I haven't seen Joseph. Is he here? Oregon Voice, where's Helena? My former staff at the Secretary of State's office, many of whom are here, Gus, Gina, where's Gina? Yay, she's with me too, so. I see Robert. Robert, thank you, thank you. And last but not least, I want to thank a few key people who are on the front lines every single day. My good friend and colleague, Steve Druckenmiller. Steve, thank you. Patty Hitt, I don't see her here, but I know she's sharing in the joy from Douglas County. Tim Scott might be here as well from Multnomah County, and all of the county clerks from the Oregon Association of County Clerks. Thank you for your leadership and your willingness to go down this path with me. Thank you. Thank you. I am now very pleased to turn it over to the House Majority Leader, Val Hoy. Please give her a great welcome.
So first, I would like to thank Governor Brown for her vision and leadership so that we are the first state in the country to have this kind of access to the ballot. And make no mistake, that's what this bill is about. It's a historic day, it's a historic bill, and what we're trying to do is to make sure that every single person gets a ballot in their hand. Just moving addresses doesn't mean that you shouldn't get a ballot. So when people say, as the governor said, why should we do this? I say, why shouldn't we do this? Why shouldn't we? Voting is the cornerstone of our democracy, and probably the most compelling testimony that we had in our committee was from the Lynn County Clerk, who said, I fought for people's right to vote. I did not fight for people's right to register to vote. And here in Oregon, we're doing great things. So thank you to the governor, to my colleagues, and for all of your support to get this done.
Next up, Senate Majority Leader Diane Rosenbaum.
Well, what a great day to be in Oregon, and there's so much to celebrate already, but now we are stepping up and taking our place in history by adding one more thing to the many lists of firsts that we can celebrate in Oregon. Being the first state to vote by mail, being among the first states where women got the right to vote, way ahead of most of the country. Now we will be registering every eligible voter, and there's no excuse for somebody not being able to vote anymore. As others have said, and our governor thanked many of the people responsible, I also want to just thank them, but I especially, again, want to thank our former Secretary of State, our new governor, for her incredible leadership and inspiration by bringing this idea forward and making Oregon a model for the rest of the country. Please join me in thanking her again. Our democracy, though, is not about the governor or the legislature or the judiciary. Our democracy is about each and every citizen. And with this bill, we're empowering our democracy by removing barriers for citizens to vote. It's a historic day, and I am very proud to be a part of it. While other states are taking steps to disenfranchise or limit voter participation, today we are bucking that trend and leading the nation. We talk a lot about Oregon's pioneer spirit, and this is definitely a page in Oregon's history, one that we can all be proud to have played a part in. And by expanding Oregonians' right to vote, we know that we will be leading the nation once again. We hope that this will be a model and that we will not be the only state that has this for very long, and that other states will be following our example. So I am very proud to be here today to celebrate with all of you. And now I have the great pleasure of introducing one of my colleagues who presided over the hearings on this bill in committee not once, but twice, and kept at it until we got it done. And so let me introduce now my co-carrier on the floor of the Senate, Senator Elizabeth Steiner Hayward.
You know, it's really extraordinary. As Senator Rosenbaum said, I've had the privilege of being very closely involved with this bill, both in the 2013 session and this year, because of the committee that I chair, and then having had the privilege of carrying it on the floor of the Senate not once, but twice, this time successfully. And I want to particularly acknowledge my colleague, Senator Gelser. This was one of the pivotal reasons she ran for the Senate, because she knew that we needed every vote we could get in the Senate to make sure that every Oregonian gets a ballot in his or her hands. In Oregon and in every state, voting is a civic virtue. Filling out a piece of paper has never been a civic virtue, and it shouldn't be. Unless, of course, that piece of paper is your ballot. But the point is, every single election, there are people who are disenfranchised by accident. They've moved, and they thought, like most of us do, that their address got automatically updated when they changed their address for driving. But no, it didn't. Or they were so enmeshed in the work of just daily living that they didn't realize that the deadline to register had come and gone. And so we have that 20-day rule in Oregon. You can't register. But there was one issue or one race that was really, really important to them. And all of a sudden, they can't vote. And that won't be true anymore. Starting in the 2016 elections, every Oregonian, every eligible Oregonian will get a ballot in his or her hands. Those records will be updated automatically, people will be registered automatically, and they will have much more choice and much more voice. So my thanks to then Secretary of State, now Governor Brown, for her vision and foresight, as others have said, and I'll just say it again because it's so important. Oregon is committed to making sure that every Oregonian gets a ballot. Every Oregonian has a voice. Every Oregonian participates in our election system, because that's what democracy is about. It's not a party issue. It's not a specific measure issue, or a specific race. It's about exercising the right to vote and making it simple for every Oregonian to do that. So many thanks to every single person who helped make this happen. Congratulations to all of you.
We're going to be pretty judicious with these pens. Oops. Do we need a taller chair? Oops. Have it, you guys.
Practice makes perfect.
Are you going to give me a few more bills to sign? All right.
Madam Governor.
I know you are. There we go.
Thank you.
You got a photo with everybody? There we go. And I understand that a cake has been provided for the event. It's a great, yay cake. So for those of you with cameras, you might want to take a look at it. It's extremely well decorated for the occasion. So thank you all very much.